up? What's good? It's your girl Chick, aka Gypsy's daughter, aka the beautiful underdog. You are now tuned in with the Dean again. It's me. It's me. Y'all liking the natural? Are y'all liking it? It's giving pick your afro daddy. Right now it's giving that, because it's flat on one side. For those that can see me, I know we are working on building our Spotify platform. Actually, a little birdie told me, and then another little birdie told me, and I'm still learning that platform. I have to learn it. I have to figure it out before I just jump into it. But right now, we are on most platforms: YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. I'm pretty sure that anything that I post on Instagram will also travel over to Threads, but I'm really not familiar with that platform either. I just want to check in, how y'all doing? How y'all feeling? So far, I think this is week 4. I give everything 98 days, okay? If shit don't shake in 98 days, it's probably not for us. Just like when you start a job, it's like you got that 90-day probationary period. If shit don't shake and you still haven't grasped the concept, then it's probably not for you, and we probably gonna go with another candidate. So right now, we just feeling the flow of consistency. Last week we talked a bit about stagnancy versus stability. The week before that we talked about how real change is. So this week I just want to ask my question to you, just something to give you, it's something that I want you to ask yourself when you think about me. The question is, and it's just a food for thought, you don't have to respond, but the question is, what is your rabbit? I know they oh, okay, here she go again with these riddles. Oh, okay. No, I'm saying what is your white rabbit? First of all, when you think of the term white rabbit, what do you think about? Quick disclaimer. Every class has a different level of understanding. So I totally understand if what I produce here, say here, out of creativity or pure entertainment is not aligned with you. Okay? That's okay. What is your white rabbit? And when you think about the term white rabbit, what is it that it puts you in the mind of? Let's get into it. When I think of the term white rabbit, the first thing I think about is Alice in Wonderland. We tapping into the inner child. For the last 3 weeks, even my content, just regular content, just posting memories and reflection. Because we are not in the new year yet. For some of us, okay? Some of us are tiptoeing into it, and I feel like me. I feel like I'm gliding into it, but I'm having flashbacks of look, this didn't work. Don't try that again. This worked. Let's try this again and aim higher next time. So I haven't officially crossed over into the new year. So I'm having moments of reflection, which are good, especially when I've been on a long journey of introspection, going within, tapping into me, working on me, loving on me. And then I just come on here on my digital platform and my digital space and share what I've learned. When I think of white rabbit, I think this could be a person, a place, a thing. I think also of the reference in The Matrix, how the white rabbit was a person who was a distraction. But it was something that he followed throughout he was looking for in every different scene. And that's how he kind of measured where he was at. And if that's from my understanding, okay? But remember I told you every class got a different level of understanding. Okay, so yeah. So what is your white rabbit? Is it something? Is it that job? Is it that business? Is it you got a new boyfriend? You got a new girlfriend? What is it? When I think of white rabbit, I think of also never being able to catch up on the treadmill. Cause right now, that's what I'm working on. That's a main focus for me is just stay moving. Okay. We you can't afford my first membership opportunity experience, whatever you want to call it, was an investment. Me having a personal trainer was an investment. So now my goal is to just stay moving, keep showing up, that type of vibe. So when I think of white rabbit, I think of Also, like, you know, we already said not being able to catch up on the treadmill, but like, oh my gosh, where I gotta go, I gotta be, I don't got time for this shit. I gotta go here, I gotta be there, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. And it's like kind of bringing anxiety forth. It's kind of bringing you watching the clock. It's kind of giving you don't have time to sit down and be with your, just exist with your thoughts. So what is your white rabbit? That's my question to you. And when you think about me, I want you to ask yourself, what is my white rabbit? And is it stealing from my garden? Is it robbing me the time? Is it robbing me of an experience? Is it taking me away from what I said I was going to do? Is it distracting me? Is it hindering me? Is it holding me back? Or could it be used to measure where I'm at? So I want to be brief, but I want to tell you a story you already know to give you an illustration. Of course. Who would I be if I didn't have a story to tell? And that's what it is all about. So my white rabbit, I feel like, has come in many different forms. It has been a person before. It has been a place. I don't belong here. This is not my space. I'm all the way out of my element with this. It could be a job. It could be that startup, that business. If you're trying to get something off the ground, for me, I feel like I go back and forth between a career entrepreneur, and this is year 10 for me, so I feel really good. And when I say year 10 for me, I'm talking about like, I think God, source, most high, or whoever you subscribe to, for me, I know who it is, and you should know who it is for you. But I know that I talk to many different types of people from many different walks of life with many different belief systems. But I'll say that I think I'm being shifted and geared and redirected and rewired and rebooted and downloaded and uploaded into a different realm of something I've never been into, and I'm excited for that. I have just officially, I'm newly excited for that. Let me just say, because like I said, this is year 10 for me, doing the same thing, trying the same thing over and over with a lot of resistance and a lot of adversity and a lot of shaking ass in the face of adversity and a lot of standing up to the man. And sometimes the man ain't a man. Sometimes the man is a woman. And sometimes the woman look like you and sometimes she don't. And that's just giving you a background on how new this feeling is for me. That's just giving you an illustration on how new this feeling is to me. I have surrendered. I have surrendered to, like, whatever is to come is going to come. And I've made it this far. So I'm open. I'm coming in with open arms to the new adventure and the journey. But I go from being really like serious, and I want to be professional, and I want people to understand that beauty and brains is good for society's standard, but it's also good for you. You know what I mean? Like, I like the fact that I'm quirky at home, and you know, like, you should hear my mom voice when I'm talking shit to my son. And excuse my language, because y'all know that I'm working on my communication skills. But this is a more personable. This project right here, what we doing right here, right now, is more personable for me. This could open opportunities and walk me down into another lane that I never seen, and maybe somebody is aligned with my sound and they like just how I am. But that's what it's gonna take. I feel like I'm at a level in my mindset. It's like, you gonna take me how I am today, or I'm gonna build and you'll eventually catch on, because that's what it is. It's what I want now. So I go from being really like, well, I learned this in the corporate space, and this is really how it should be ran. But I talked about how change is inevitable, but it's the only thing that's consistent. It's the only thing that is actually in rotation, in generation. Like, it's the only thing. Change is gonna happen, baby. You either gonna let it change and you gonna surrender to change, or change is gonna leave you right where you stand. And don't let that be your white rabbit. I feel like sometimes that's my white rabbit. I feel like, yes, we are in year 10, me. I'm in year 10 of, like I said, doing the same thing. And that's a master's degree in somebody's book. Whether you went to the college route or you learned that in the academy of life. 10 years is a long time coming. But don't let that be your white rabbit as for you to feel like the journey is over and you shouldn't try something else if you're being guided to, if you're being called in a different direction. So what is your white rabbit? Let's talk about video, because I've been watching a lot of other speakers Until I can afford to go take me a Toastmasters class. I really kind of don't want to go by myself. I really kind of want to make it a girls thing, but I haven't found my tribe yet. I'm just being for real. I haven't found, and that could be my white rabbit too. Me looking around for the external validation, and that does not exist. And I know that I know that I have a lot of the tools that I need to get to where I want to be. But sometimes you just get tired of that. 10 years, it's been just me. But I did watch this video, and it's this guy. He speaks. His name is Matt Gray, and the video is titled on YouTube. It's titled "Building a Personal Brand." It's building a profitable personal brand in 30 days. And when I think of like the term white rabbit, I think about what is distracting you, because I know that I have built my personal brand around career, but now I'm ready to work on a different tier of my life. Finances and established career is done. Now what? I also watch a lot of video, audio about building that person. I read a lot of books too. Let me just remember we talked about different levels of understanding. Okay, sometimes I don't have time to sit down and turn the chapters. I used to be very invested in my reading, but now I'm listening to some more audio. So what? Okay, but I read self-help. Self-help is my topic. I love self-help. I believe in quantum physics. I believe in jumping into another timeline. I believe all that because I've seen it. But when they say like build your personal life, I know that I'm not a person that desires, don't get it twisted. I have high desires for science. I love science. Okay, that's what it is. I have been married to medicine for the last 10 years. And only one aspect of medicine, I've been every tech in the book. Everybody that know me know I've been every tech in the book. But honey, when it comes down to like building the life that I desire, it is not to work and pay my bills and die. So now what? That is not. Now I'm ready to work on a different tier of my life. I've used my wellness journey, and I'm saying wellness journey as in I'm a big boned broad, literally. Like I know these things. Like I said, my first experience at a wellness club was an investment, because I know I like pretty things, and I wanted this habit to be a lifestyle. And I wanted this habit to be a lifestyle because one of my parents had their first stroke at 28. I am 28 today. In a couple days, I'll be 29. But do you see what I'm saying? Like I want my heart to keep pumping. It's no longer about are you skinny or are you fat. It's not like that anymore. It's do you feel like getting up and going to the gym today? If you don't, you should get up anyway. You know, it's one of those things. So like now I'm working on like building this lifestyle that is easy for me to live. It's easy for me to live, but it's also revealing my higher self. And that's the point. That's the topic. It's revealing my higher self. What is your white rabbit? Because whatever it is, it's got to go. You need to let it go. In Alice in Wonderland, she always seen the white rabbit and was like, hey, where you going? And was running after him. And in my mind, I think about like those times where you running after something that is, it doesn't matter. It's a distraction from what you're doing right then and there. I also, from an adult's point of view, when I watch Alice in Wonderland, in every version, from the animated version all the way back in the back, to up to date now, she was always in an idle mind. Her mind was always somewhere drifted off. She was always sitting somewhere just and that's when it came. You feel me? Like, could it be because you're not working on what you said you was working on as to why this even was I want to give you another illustration. Some people might even say, especially adults today. I know some adults, my mother actually is obsessed with the concept of Alice in Wonderland, the tea parties, the maximalist. Is that what it's like? There's minimalist and then there's maximalist. The colors, the freaky colors, it's a whole lot on this table, but what do you actually see? So some might even say Alice was high. Can you raise your hand if you think Alice was high? I think she was. I mean, maybe, because with the mushrooms and we ain't here to talk about that. But my point, what I'm trying to say is, what if you high off life? What if you are sure about this next jump, this next leap that you about to take into a new timeline? You don't know what's coming, but you just feel good about it because you know you've done the work. Do you know that being associated with the wrong people, with the wrong things, with the wrong environment, being unaligned, you high off life, you're drifting, you floating, you flying. And if somebody from beneath you or around you or something has got your attention. When I think about building a personal brand with Matt Gray, and I'm talking about these are my digital mentors, because none of my followers have stood up and said, "Where you at? What you doing today?" None of them, honey. Listen. I'm here for the cheap thrills, honey. I know how to ball and kick it on a budget. Okay, so none of my real life followers, subscribers, likers, viewers are saying anything to me. So I'm living vicariously through Matt Gray for the next 30 days. And when I think about building that personal brand, you already know what you want to do. And somebody's like, "Excuse me, can you tell me the time up there?" And you take your mind off of what's right in front of you to address that white rabbit. What is your white rabbit? I see it a lot of times when we building, and I don't want to, let me just say real quick, it's not about feeling inferior either, or superior, or whichever one it is, honey. I'm learning. Like I said, I'm listening to audio these days. I'm not. It's not about shunning people or looking down on anyone or anything for that matter, because you might not understand the level of that person's understanding. Okay, it might not be aligned with you. You know, it might just not be aligned with you, literally, figuratively, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, however you want to view it. So I'm not saying look down upon anyone, but I feel like you need to be able to recognize when this is a distraction. Okay, this has nothing to do with what I'm trying to do. Okay, well, I might have to catch you later because this is not. But when we building these personal brands, professional brands, or just building a new tier of our lifestyle, because we creating, that a lot of us who are naturally creative, some just got it. Some just have it, honey. Some it just flows. Some we are mentally, intuitively generating our own wealth by simply creating, whether that be monetarily or physically, spiritually, emotionally. So I'm gonna give you an example of what I mean. An illustration would be something like we walking into a sipping paint. And it's not a pre-draw type of thing. It's like a free draw, free color, free paint. You walk into a sipping paint, some gonna see that empty canvas and be like, and get to work. It's nothing. Oh yeah, let me see. I need a blue, I need a pink, I need a purple, I need this, I need that. I'm gonna add this. Give me another sip. Just put some in my cup. I'm busy. You know what I'm talking about? Some gonna get to work, and then some gonna see that empty canvas and look around. I never did this before. Some gonna look and be like, well, I guess I'll just do what you're doing. You seem to be really good at this, you know, like, and that's it's the story of everybody's life. That's just what it is. That's just how the game goes. Like, you know, McDonald's got a breakfast menu that's been around since before my time, honey. I was born in 96. Like, Taco Bell has a fucking breakfast menu as well. And what better than to try? It doesn't make it wrong, because, like, I would definitely try a breakfast burrito from a taco spot, but I know that if I'm down to my last $5, I'm going to go for what I know. What's the originality? Where did this all start? And in my mind, I'm going to think I would never get donuts from McDonald's. I'm going to Dunkin'. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, the creativity is what it is. And 10 times out of 10, we're reliving somebody's vision anyway. But you know what I'm trying to say. But the point is, who would McDonald's be if they stopped just because other people have the same things on their breakfast menu? Actually, when I was doing a onboarding training at Cleveland Clinic, they had a picture of Starbucks and Dunkin' Donuts. And the project, it was like a team building project, I guess you would say, something like that. And it was basically saying you have to promote this brand without dismantling the other one. You can't discredit the other one. You can't say, well, we got affordable coffee and their coffee is $5 for the smallest cup. You can't say that. You can't say that. You can't say that. Don't say nothing about the other brand. Just tell us about yours. And so, again, when you think about your white rabbit, is it the fact that you keep looking over there on their plate? Is she still copying me? Probably so, because you really got it going on. Of course. You really making the moves. She just got clout. And I'm laughing, but it really ain't funny, because as soon as you take your mind off of what's right in front of you and you focus on that white rabbit, let me chase this white rabbit down. Let me do my research on why in the hell am I being copied? Am I being mimicked? And I asked to be an inspiration. I know that I want to make an impact. I want people to feel me. Why? I need to investigate. No, you don't. Because as soon as you take your focus off of what you're doing, and as soon as you're any less consistent than with what you're doing, knowing that people can't move without you making a move, you focused on that white rabbit, huh? You chasing that white rabbit down that rabbit hole, huh? It's going to be some time. It's going to take some time to get up out of there. Some of us like going down there and being down the rabbit hole and investigating and doing our research and things like that. But everybody knows that it's tough shit getting out of there, getting out of that mental space. Now you've let up on what you was doing. You let up off the gas. And that is where they swooped you. What is your white rabbit? Could you let it go? Could you just be done with it after today? It could be more than one. It could be more than one thing that is in reference to your white rabbit, or having a white rabbit moment. Like I said, not being able to catch up on that treadmill, or I got to go here, I got to do this, I ain't got time for this. These things like this. My boy Matt Gray, he said regarding the personal brand and building a profitable personal brand, something that people know you by. So you got to be consistent. You got to show up for the people. But also in a situation of, what do they know you by? It could be your thumbnails. It could be a quick disclaimer. Every class has a different level of understanding. So I totally understand if this class or what I say here is not for you. It could just be that. It could just be real simple. This message was delivered to you well today. You know, I hope you were able to digest something from this. What is your white rabbit? What is robbing you of an experience? Is it a habit? Is it a person? Is it a place? Is it a thing? Is it that job? Is it that startup? Are you focused on following the plan and not your mood? Because I feel like the white rabbit comes when your mind is idled. It's a distraction. It's something that pulls your mind away from bringing into creating, whether that be monetary, mentally, physically. You trying to bring something into fruition, but distractions are only there set to delay you. And I just feel like that is what I think of when I think of the term white rabbit. What is your white rabbit? Can it be used to determine how far you've come and if you've steered off track? I feel like that has happened to me a lot of times, a lot of little moving parts at one time. I didn't have time to digest it. That was a distraction the whole time. Now I got to go back and see what I missed. Damn. I'm on track. I know where I'm going. But now I got to tiptoe back, because you know you ain't even supposed to look back. Ain't no looking back. We moving forward. We talked about that last week. We talked about that 2 weeks ago, how change is so real. Now I got to go back and see what I missed, because this was a distraction the whole time. Can it be determined when you see that white rabbit that you already know you in trouble? Can you recognize it in real time? Hope you receive something. Take what you will. Take it as it resonates. Shout out to my boy Matt Gray. That handle on YouTube, that particular video that I referenced, is Building a Profitable Personal Brand in 30 Days by Matt Gray on YouTube. He's on other platforms too, but that's where I seen him talking from a tree. He was talking from a tree that oversees a beautiful waterfall into a beautiful body of water. And you know, when I say building and creating the lifestyle we desire, I would love to just be like up there with him, you know? Like, yes, turn my mic on too, you know what I mean? But anyway, thank all my followers and my likers that, you know, follow and listen to me yap. You're very much appreciated. This is very therapeutic for me. This is very much personal for me. just get my voice out there, being heard and saying what I feel and get some things off my chest. So yeah, this your girl Chick, aka Gypsy's daughter, aka the beautiful underdog. You are tuned in with the Dean again. Stay in motion. Slow motion is still motion. And remember, the Dean said it first. Signing off.